few different things to do, but I'm just a quick drop in to open a gift sent by Simon. So this is a kind of Really Love Guitars care package, and I'm so privileged to get these fairly regularly from different people. Different folks have leftover things that they don't need and they send them down to me. I never figure out how to open these things. Send them down to me in case I can make use of them, and there's pretty much always a chance I can make use of stuff, whether it's pickups or spare bits and pieces. So and over time I've had just loads of interesting things. Look at this. So look at what we've got. Maurice, we've got a surprise for you. We've got some interesting electric guitar strings. These tend to come in, wow, who knows where they come from. Look at this. Maurice, look what you've got. You've got cat. Go cat. Thank you very much. And here, a little chromatic tuner in there, a Joyo one. Look at that. That's probably more useful than that thing I've got at the moment. We've also got a couple of sets of knobs, a spare nut, bone nut. This one's I don't know where that's from, but it's probably China. And I believe a couple of pickups. Alright, Allen Entwistle X2s. Now I haven't really heard these before, so this would be really interesting at some point. Find somewhere to put these. Thank you. A pair of those. I'm going to have to put them in a little container and stash them in my spares. I should have a kind of charitable donated spares department. But anyway, listen, thank you so much. That's from Simon. Look forward to that. I don't know if any of you people have ever watched a guy called, oh my god, what's he called? iDubbbz, who does crazy unboxing things on YouTube. But it's kind of like one of those, but his stuff is really weird. These are amazing. I mean, these are 1046, made in China. Well, these are always going to come in handy as sort of sacrificial string sets, so they can go in the container over here, which has those. Put them in. Along with Churchill's greatest speeches. And these can go over here for spares. Brilliant. And more spares. That's another thing altogether. That'll go for all the cats, that will. That's brilliant. And a nut, that can go in there. And knobs in the spares. Brilliant, thank you very much. Just one other little thing while I'm at it, and before I start, I'll go off camera and do some wiring. Here's something a friend of mine makes, and I bought one of these the other day. I don't know, I haven't got anywhere big enough to put this particular thing just yet, but I'm kind of trying to be a bit more serious about learning some more stuff about playing the guitar, mainly, well, a little bit of theory, but more practice and more knowing where the notes are. So my friend Mark sells these great big posters of the notes, and you can get them in all kinds of things. It's one of those great things. You can get them on a mug if that works for you. You can get them on iPhone covers, anything. There's a whole range of things, and he sells them out of a thing called Red Bubble. But if you fretboard charts, and his ID is Zax, Z-A-X. Anyway, so I got this one for me, and I kind of want to put it somewhere in the living room where I tend to do my playing. There's another one I want of his, and it's the chord progressions thing chart, so you can tell what notes, what chords go in a particular key. That would be really handy for me. Anyway, that's the fretboard, position of all the notes on the fretboard. So I'm going to find somewhere for that in my line of sight, so I can get to it when I'm playing. That's the most important thing. It needs to be visible. Anyway, that was my cute little unboxing. Now I'm going to get back to wiring up JT's Strat style guitar, and this one's going to be interesting because I'm going to wire in a dummy coil into this guitar, but for that I'm going to have to break off these magnets. Ooh, and that I have no idea how that's going to happen other than with some leverage and a blade of some sort. Maybe some heat to get the, or loosen up, possibly loosen up the gum. Oh no, that's not too bad actually. We'll get this off just as is. So, because, oh yeah, is that the one I'm talking about? Yeah, it's the middle one. It's actually, it's not particularly a bad pickup as it stands, but it's a made in Korea Strat single coil. But to make this work as a dummy coil, we have to remove the magnet so it's not working as a pickup. And we just really, whoops, please don't let me have hit the wires. We're just using it, there we go, as a coil of wire minus these here magnets, which I'll stick off to one side. So I'm going to build this into the wiring schema, and I've got, oh crap, I've got that printed out indoors, but I think what I'm going to have to do is draw it out on the board here. I actually know how it's going to go, but so this is a, like I say, a dummy pickup, and I'm going to use it as such. I'm going to wire it in series, I believe. Am I wiring it in series? Yeah, series, because somebody recommended that was a good way to do it, one of the best of two ways. So I've got the diagram here, the one that I'm going to use, and I'm going to add in my coil wiring. So what basically we do is we go in to one end of there and out to one end of there. So basically one bit of the coil, one of these wires goes to the, in this case, the ground wire from this one, and another bit, yeah, what am I talking about? Yeah, basically this, you just put this in line, right, in series with the active pickup. Now, what I don't have, this is a little kind of just tiny segment really, video. What in when doing something like this, doing something a little bit unusual, what you want to be able to do is to test this quite quickly without having to put it back on the guitar. But of course, one of the things you end up constrained by is just being able to go like this and, you know, listening to the pickups. You can tell when you do that kind of thing, you can quite easily tell whether your switching combination is working. What you can never really tell is whether it's playing or not. So one of the things I wish I had, and I might have it around somewhere but I can't find it, is a tuning fork is really good, an old-fashioned metal tuning fork, because if you bang a tuning fork and hold it over the active or live pickups, it creates a movement of the prongs of the tuning fork in the magnetic field, and it produces the note, so you should be able to hear the difference in quality. An alternative would be to build a kind of little test string that you could pluck. Now I don't know how much a string would ring out and how easy it would be to make one. Get a piece of wood, put a tuner on one end. So I just think, so if we had a short test piece like this, and then we just had a string that we could twang there, doing, and hold it and let it vibrate. That would probably be quite useful because you'd be able to hear the differences in tone. And certainly if you're going to do a sort of A and B test with some wire, crocodile clip wires, so you could switch them around and quickly find out which way round the polarity of something was. So off camera I'm going to build myself a little playing string that I can just twang and hold into the path of the pickup without having to have strings on, put it back under the strings on the guitar already, because that's never really a feasible option. Right, okay, so that was that. Thanks again, Simon, for your very kind gift, and I shall treat Maurice to some of those in the house a bit later on, and see you all in a bit.